Mr. Bernard Jenkin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think every honourable and right honourable member in this House respects the passion and bravery of the Honourable Lady for Brighton Pavilion, but would she at least recognise the irony that she's calling for the revitalisation of democracy at the same time as she's voting against renewing the representative mandate of this House? And I would just invite this House to consider... I'm going to be very brief. I would just invite this House, and the irony also extends to those crying for a people's vote who are now going to vote against the people having a vote about the future of this House. The British public have watched this House of Commons decline into an almost zombie parliament, a parliament that's incapable of deciding anything, and a parliament which is still dominated by Remain thinking and Remain attitudes, even though the British people clearly voted Leave in the referendum. Yesterday, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I spoke about the problem of us having created conflicting representative and direct mandates, that the legitimacy of this House was unquestionably as a House of Representatives, but we qualified that as we introduced the concept of referendums into our Constitution, and the representative mandate is unalterably qualified by the fact that we've had a referendum and we said we would implement the result of that referendum, and this House has failed to do so. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves is, how is this going to be resolved? It's not going to be resolved by continuing to put off decisions. And yet the bill, which so many of the Remain supporting members of this House are so pleased with, does no more than invite the European Union to put off the decisions. What is going to be gained by putting off the decisions again? And what kind of respect will this House gain by putting off the decisions at the same time as avoiding the accountability that a general election would give to our electors to make us accountable for what we are responsible for? I give way to the Honourable Lady.
Does my